Hi, I'm Dr. Ed Beck from Advanced Chiropractic Center, and today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most popular, up-and-coming, although many of you know about it already, nutrients that is just sweeping the country for health providers alike. And just to kind of clear up a few things that people aren't quite understanding. We're actually talking about what's known as fish oils or omega fatty acids, or some people call them omega-3s, although there's omega-6, 3, 6, and 9. But what we're talking about is fish oils, basically, or fatty acid oils. And there are different kinds of them: DHA, EPA, ALA. These are all different constituents that they break down into. But mainly, just quickly here, I want to explain that the benefits are amazing. There's so many different benefits, I couldn't even begin to start them here, but from brain health to arterial health and everything else under the skin. The reality here is that there's a lot of confusion, and it doesn't need to be. What to do to look for a fish oil is to look for a couple of different things. One, you want to make sure it's clean. That means it's got to be pharmaceutical grade. Okay, and you should be able to check that either on the bottle or by contacting the manufacturer or getting on their website. Two is a dosing issue. So the dose that has come out of the research from places like Harvard University is that the average American would benefit from a therapeutic dose between 1,500 milligrams and 3,000 milligrams per day. And of course there's questions about the ratios of EPA versus DHA, but basically you'll take care of most of the issues that would be cleared up by fish oils by just making sure that you get in 1,500 to 3,000 milligrams per day, and this is where you get the most benefit. So the thing here that you want to watch out for, though, is that many companies will deal with what I call a price point more than they'll deal with the right dosage. So if you see it on the shelf and it looks like it's inexpensive, remember you have to check those two things. Is it clean, meaning pharmaceutical grade? And two is, what is the dose? So if they tell you what to take and you turn the bottle around, now you can compare apples to apples and you look at the dose, and many of the inexpensive companies are simply inexpensive because they're not telling you the correct dosage. So if you take 2 of their capsules, you might be getting a third or a fourth or a fifth of what you're supposed to be getting from what the research shows. That means that that bottle is now really 4, 5, 6 times more expensive than what it might say on the bottle if you were to take the dose correctly. You're better off not dealing with that kind of company because they're clearly not focused on your health. They're clearly focused on the profit or the price point that shows up on the shelf for that particular store. You can still use that, but understand that you're not getting a free lunch here. So fish oils often come from the same companies. Most of them come from the top 5 or 6 manufacturers that are around the world, and then they just basically private label or put their name on it and obviously push it to the end consumer. But the reality is, having some of this knowledge now allows you to decide whether the fish oil you're using is a good fish oil or maybe not so good, and also if it's priced correctly or you're paying too much for really not much more benefit. There are 2 other questions, though, I do want to clear up, is that fish oils come in mainly 2 different forms, and one has what's known as an ethyl ester form. This is a synthetic form that's fabricated in the manufacturing plant, and 2 is what we call a triglyceride form. Now there's 4 main studies that I'm aware of that shows these 2 different forms. 2 of them do show that the natural triglyceride form has a better rate of absorption. The other 2 studies are what I would call inconclusive. They don't really say whether one is better than the other. So I'll leave it up to you. The triglyceride form is usually more expensive by a little bit, but of course it's what I would consider more natural, so I don't think you're going to have any negative ramifications that way. The ethyl ester, some people seem to think it's better. It can be a little bit less expensive, but again, the research doesn't necessarily show that to you. So on the bottle it may not say either one of these, but it might say a natural form, triglyceride form on the one that is triglyceride or natural form. However, if you have any questions, I'd certainly be happy to help you out with this. Fish oils do not have to be confusing. However, they are for most people because they don't know what to look for. Flaxseed oil, that's another question for you for another day. Some people love flaxseed oil, and there's some differences between them. However, if you have any questions, again, one thing you can do is certainly visit my website. I do have some articles and some reports I did on nutrition. But check out the website, join our newsletter, of course, or if you have any questions, you can contact me. The website is www.healingpotential.com, www.healingpotential.com. healthpotential.com. If you have any questions whatsoever, you can either email me or call me right here at the office. Until next time, I'm Dr. Ed Beck from Advanced Chiropractic Center, and make it a healthy day.